Mr. Jacob Thomas, president of Good Shepherd International School, blends his business acumen with a passion for education. With a background in business administration from the University of Massachusetts Lowell and notable roles in the IT sector, including at NetApp Incorporated, he brings a unique perspective to school leadership. Since 2020, Mr. Jacob has been driving GSIS towards global recognition, emphasizing state-of-the-art infrastructure and innovating teaching methodologies. I now invite Mr. Jacob Thomas to address the gathering.
Thank you. Good morning. So first off, on behalf of the entire GSIS community, a very warm welcome to all of you, to our campus and to LASSI. As you just learned from Ravi, he is the brainchild behind LASSI, and I got to know him at the conference you mentioned last year in Jaipur. Very interesting, very enlightening. It was my first real exposure to an educational symposium, so it was a very good learning experience for me when I was there. What I learned about Ravi when I met him, and that was the first time I met him, he is a person of very strong convictions with a boundless passion for education in this country. Ravi, I salute you for your unrelenting effort to put this conference together. Thank you for doing that. I'm also grateful to all of our keynote speakers, so many of them. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for coming from far and wide. And for your presence here today, I look forward to learning from you and learning from your inspirational words, your experience, your knowledge, as everyone else here is. We have an eclectic and diverse set of speakers, from passionate educators and founders and entrepreneurs. There is a powerhouse of knowledge and inspiration from whom we're privileged to learn from. Welcome also to all of our delegates who have traveled from far and near to be a part of the symposium. So, if you've heard me speak before, I'm a big fan of history. I usually start to talk about something to do with history. And another one of my loves is art. So let me tell you a little bit about this painting. On July 2nd in 1816, the French frigate named Medusa ran aground off the coast of what is today modern-day Mauritania. At least 147 people were set adrift on a hurriedly constructed raft. All but 15 died in the 13 days before their rescue. And those who survived endured starvation, dehydration, and had to resort to cannibalism just to survive. The event became an international scandal, in part because it was caused by its cause was widely attributed to the French captain of the ship. About 3 years after the incident, the French artist Theodore Géricault launched his career by painting this controversial event. Today, this oval life-size painting, actually the original is about the size of the screen. And the painting is now called the Raft of Medusa, and it's housed in the Musée du Louvre in Paris. I've been fortunate to travel there twice to see it, and a copy of it hangs in my office. That's how much I fell in love with this painting. Now, what I find intriguing about this painting is how the artist has depicted the emotion of every sailor on that raft, starting with despair on the left to hope on the right. And if you look carefully in the distance on the horizon, you can see a speck that is the ship that rescued these sailors. Now, I learned about this painting when I was a student in university, when I took an elective, which was an art course. Now, I already loved art, but that course really expanded my knowledge of art and deepened my love for art. So speaking of art, I think everyone should recognize this painting. It is the Mona Lisa by the famous artist Leonardo da Vinci. Now, Da Vinci is one of the most fascinating personalities in our history. He's known, yes, as an artist, but he's also known as a scientist and as an engineer. He was a polymath. He gained his skills as a painter under the tutelage of another famous painter in Florence named Verrocchio. Now, Verrocchio demanded that all of his students develop a deep knowledge of the anatomy of the human body. Now, as an artist, Da Vinci quickly became a master of anatomy, drawing many studies of human skeleton, muscles, vital organs, including detailed drawings of the heart, brain, and the first scientific drawing of a fetus. In the 1490s, he studied mathematics, and with the same rational and analytical approach that moved him to represent the human body and to investigate anatomy, Leonardo studied and designed many machines and devices. He drew their anatomy with unparalleled mastery, producing the first form of the modern technical drawing, and famously the first rendering of what has become the modern helicopter. I believe what Leonardo imbibed through his approaches to learning and the incredible breadth of knowledge he accumulated is a prime example of what a liberal arts education is all about. Almost a century ago today, the famous economist John Maynard Keynes wrote an essay entitled "Economic Possibilities for Our Grandchildren," in which he predicted that in 100 years into the future, his wealthy descendants would need to work for only 15 hours a week. Clearly, that hasn't quite come to pass. But working time has fallen greatly. In developed countries, average weekly working hours have dropped from 60 hours in the late 19th century to fewer than 40 today. The typical American spends a third of their waking hours on leisure activities and sports. In the future, they may wish to spend their time on other things that today we can't conceive. In India, five times fewer workers were needed to operate a factory in 2007 than in 1980. These rapid increases in productivity, and in today's case, fueled by the convergence of AI, robotics, and automation, will consequently infiltrate the existing labor market and the skill sets heavily relied on by that industry. During the pandemic, when factories had to operate with fewer workers due to social distancing, most businesses turned to technology to improve their productivity. Many managed to achieve 70% of their pre-pandemic targets with only 30% of their workforce. We should anticipate this phenomenon to have even deeper impacts in the coming future, as AI replaces repetitive work, thus making those skills obsolete among human workers. Humans are not designed for the monotony of work. In his most recently published paper, "Most Work is New Work," MIT economist David Autor estimates that about 6 out of 10 jobs people are doing today did not exist in 1940, and that most contemporary jobs require expertise that didn't exist back then and weren't relevant at the time. He concluded that it's not just technology that creates new work, it's new demand. Now, we create tools to improve our productivity, efficiency, accuracy, and use data to analyze, model, and predict possible outcomes. Much of humanity's progress can be attributed to two pursuits: achieving faster results and reducing travel time. Modern-day examples of that are e-commerce and airline travel. Among other things, both have resulted in the expansion of trade through globalization. Now, the first industrial revolution was the culmination of centuries of iterative gains and innovation through problem solving. The emerging impacts of AI are being heralded as the beginning of the second industrial revolution that would lead to a decline in the demand for physical labor. So if John Maynard Keynes' predictions were to come true, what will we do with all that time that we gain? In a world characterized by constant change, the broad-based, multidisciplinary approach of a liberal arts education serves as a bedrock for adaptability, which I believe to be among the most important skills in today's dynamic world. Fareed Zakaria, the very famous CNN newscaster, in his insightful TED Talk, highlighted that a liberal arts education emphasizes how the education system equips individuals with a sense of judgment and ethics, preparing them for the complexity and diversity of the global landscape. It's about learning how to learn, fostering a nimble mind capable of navigating uncharted territories. I believe a liberal arts education can enable us to think and feel, to look beyond the obvious and to put why at the core of our purpose. Imagination, creativity, and free will are central to what makes humans the superior species on this planet. Presently, AI is consuming human-generated content at a rapid pace as it learns from our work, while humans rely on AI-generated content to raise our productivity. Subsequently, though, there will come an inflection point when AI peaks in its knowledge, even as its capabilities expand. Thus, I believe, leading to an increase in the demand for more human-generated content. I believe these technological advancements will lead to immense opportunities for education and nurture the skills and knowledge for humanity to thrive in creativity, research, and innovation. And as the number of AI-based applications and digital assistants enter our lives and reframe how we live, work, and learn, I think it will become necessary for us to manage and interact with these various autonomous systems, not just coexisting with them, but learning to direct their capabilities. So what role can liberal arts education play in shaping the essential skills required to thrive in this hybrid world of technology and nature? In today's fast-paced, technology-driven society, we stand at the crossroads of an evolutionary leap, where artificial intelligence and digital advancements are not just augmenting our capabilities and abilities, but also reshaping our very understanding of what it means to be human. Amidst this whirlwind of change, the value of a liberal arts education emerges not as a relic of the past, but I think as a beacon for the future. Looking forward, the integration of liberal arts with technological advancements opens up new career pathways, from digital humanities to ethical AI development. The focus on sustainability, global perspectives, and social impact ensures that liberal arts education remains at the forefront of shaping a better world. Now, one of our greatest challenges lies in addressing common misconceptions about our liberal arts education, particularly its relevance in the modern job market. We can highlight how liberal arts graduates excel in various fields, from technology to business, showcasing their adaptability and critical thinking skills. Strategies to promote this educational path includes leveraging success stories, engaging with employers to showcase the value of liberal arts skills, and advocating for curricula that integrate experiential learning and entrepreneurship. Now, many successful entrepreneurs come from liberal arts backgrounds or have unorthodox educational journeys, demonstrating that a diverse range of knowledge and skills can contribute to significant achievements in business and innovation. I've been a big fan of Kiran Majumdar-Shah for more than 3 decades. She is the founder and chairperson of Biocon. She initially trained as a brewmaster in Australia. Her entry into the biopharmaceutical sector was unconventional. Her background in brewing led her to pioneering work in biotechnology, turning Biocon into a global pharma powerhouse. I'm sure everyone here has heard of LinkedIn or use it. Well, Reid Hoffman is the co-founder of LinkedIn. He earned his bachelor's degree in symbolic systems and a master's degree in philosophy from Stanford. His liberal arts education contributed to his deep understanding of human networks and social systems, which became the foundation for LinkedIn. I'm sure most of you have heard of Alibaba, which is the Amazon of China, founded by Jack Ma, who actually spent the early part of his life as a teacher, having graduated from the Hangzhou Teachers Institute with a bachelor's degree in English. His journey is a testament to the power of perseverance, vision, and leveraging his problem-solving skills and communication skills to build one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world. Shraddha Sharma, founder and chief editor of Your Story, studied history at St. Stephen's College and later pursued an MBA. Her transition from academic training in liberal arts to launching a digital media platform for entrepreneurs shows her unique application of storytelling to the startup ecosystem. Who hasn't heard of Apple? Well, Apple's co-founder, Steve Jobs, he actually dropped out of Reed College, so didn't really pursue a formal education. But he dabbled in so many things, and one of the things he spent a lot of time on was calligraphy. And calligraphy inspired him to focus on beautiful typography, which became the hallmark of early Macintosh computers. And there's so many remarkable examples, especially in today's contemporary business landscape, of people who have come from these unconventional backgrounds or from a liberal arts education. So contrary to popular belief, the liberal arts have not lost their relevance. As George Anders highlights in his book, The Surprising Power of Liberal Arts, graduates with these degrees bring unique skills that are increasingly coveted across industries, including the tech world. Their ability to think critically, communicate effectively, and solve complex problems makes them invaluable in any field. Throughout history, humanity has spent time, effort, and resources to improve the quality of our lives and feed our insatiable desires. And today's technological advancements are evidence of that ongoing pursuit. However, every advancement has resulted in unintended consequences that require further innovation to resolve these newfound issues. It is a vicious cycle that has today brought us to the inescapable realization that our pursuits are damaging our environment and depleting our limited natural resources. Any transformation in education also demands a revamp of teacher training and development. Innovative approaches such as experiential learning and interdisciplinary teaching should be mainstreamed across all schools, not just elite institutions. I find India's new national education policy that was announced in 2020 to be remarkable in the progressive changes that it proposes. A shift towards a more holistic and multidisciplinary approach with an emphasis on critical thinking, creativity, and flexibility. As we venture into this new era, let us champion the liberal arts, not just as a field of study, but as a vital framework for understanding our world and our place within it. Let us ensure that this education is accessible to all, recognizing its power not just to transform individual lives, but to elevate society as a whole. Thank you all once again for joining us here at LASSI, and welcome to GSIS. And by the way, this eye-catching collage, which you'll see in our front lobby, of all the speakers was created by Ravi's daughter, Paranya Satlani. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jacob Thomas, for showing your insights on the significance of a liberal arts education. Please accept a gift bag with a memento and a thank you note as a token of appreciation. I request Mr. Ravi Santlani to present the gift bag to Mr. Jacob Thomas.